Why should investors trust crypto? Why do you trust crypto at this point?
Yes, if you look at the blockchains, let's use Bitcoin blockchain and Ethereum, what you'll find is they have the infrastructure, the technology has not skipped a beat throughout this entire crisis. In fact, the hash rate, Bitcoin's hash rate is at an all-time high. And that is a real indication of the security of the network. Ethereum, we're seeing the total value staked at 24 billion. That is an all-time high. So we think the infrastructure is working beautifully. This is the three revolutions we talk about all the time. One new monetary system in terms of the first global private, meaning not government controlled, digital,
Right.
rules-based monetary system. That's Bitcoin, a very big idea. DeFi is a very big idea. And while that has been thrown into question in terms of shifting from one exchange to another, we've had a lot of shifting around, but I think DeFi, in terms of taking the middlemen out of financial services and making the ecosystem much more transparent with much less counterparty risk, is going to take off. It will continue to move forward, we believe.
Cathie, I think one of the things we're trying to figure out is how long that we think the industry will be feeling the ramifications of FTX. I mean, one thing we've learned, right, with SBF and FTX is what we didn't know. So how long do you think this goes on? Because you obviously have faith in it. You've been buying into it and you think this is a good entry point. How long do you think we continue to feel the effect? And do you think there's more contagion to be felt?
Well, we always look for the whale in a situation like this. And if there was a whale out there, it was FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried, king of the hill. So I think we found the whale. And I'm sure there's going to be more fallout, but we see how big the whale is. And yes, a lot of people have lost a lot of money around the crypto asset ecosystem losing value here. But if we're right on the underlying technology and the underlying roles that Bitcoin and Ether, Ethereum are going to play in this new world, then I think we're going to recover pretty quickly. Many people are saying, well, okay, is this another Lehman? Could we see the domino effect here? I've just given you one reason why. The banking system back in 08, 09, trillions and trillions of dollars, and it was the global banking system. Right now, we have, it seems, from FTX, $5 to $10 billion in creditors. As FTX has filed bankruptcy, they will be making claims. If you look at Lehman, that was $1.2 trillion in claims. So again, just trying to put perspective, this is fraud. This is Madoff. Madoff was $64 billion in claims. Again, FTX, 5 to 10 billion.
Do you worry at all about, as you buy into Grayscale, Cathie, the whole world of the digital currency group and Barry Silbert's company? I mean, the various connections that kind of go back to FTX. Are you at all worried about a liquidation or anything?
Well, we know that the Grayscale investment trusts are the most valuable part of that company right now. They're cash cows, they're revenue generating. We think they're going to try and hold on to that. So we're looking at a 41% discount relative to Bitcoin today. And so we actually think there's a lot of upside. Now, one of the things that we know that Grayscale and Michael Sonnensheim at Grayscale wanted was to convert this trust into an ETF.
Right.
I think what's happened with a fallout here might increase the probability that a Bitcoin ETF will be approved. I'm not saying immediately, but we know that even the newest SEC commissioner, Jaime Lizarraga, I think is his name, has come out and said we need as regulators to focus on decentralization and transparency. What is the most decentralized and transparent crypto asset in the world? It is Bitcoin. And yet retail investors do not have easy access through a liquid asset like an ETF, which honestly, I don't understand given that they approved a Bitcoin futures fund. So, I think it might increase the odds. We shall see.
So then I'm assuming, Cathie, that you're going to hold to your Bitcoin forecast for, $1 million per coin by 2030. That still feels good to you?
Yes, and you can, sometimes you need to battle test. You need to go through crises to see to see the survivors, first of all, but really to battle test the infrastructure and the thesis. And again, we think Bitcoin is coming out of this smelling like a rose because of what I have mentioned previously. And I do think the one thing that will be delayed is perhaps institutions stepping back and just saying, okay, do we really understand this? And once they actually do the homework and see what's happened here, I think they might be more comfortable moving into Bitcoin and perhaps Ether as a first stop because they'll understand it more.